Hi crafters, it's Hannah here. This is the project that I'm going to be showing you how to make today. It's a cute little treat box and I will show you how to put it together. It's using the Thoughtful Banners stamp set from Stampin' Up and also the Moroccan Designer Series paper, which I'm sure you'll agree is gorgeous. And I'll also be telling you about a fantastic Stampin' Up event that I am at right now as you're watching this, and how you can join me there next time. So get your stamps and let's get started. So I started by getting the Moroccan card pack, and you get Emerald Envy, Delightful Dijon and Very Vanilla, and I took one of each colour. So I'm going to be showing you how I made the little gift boxes, but how I sort of mass produced it, because I'm making a lot of them. I'm just going to show you how I go about making the process that I do. So instead of doing one whole box at a time, I do each little bit for each one, and it'll make more sense as I'm going along. So I've taken the 3 colours, and then I'm going to be cutting this down to 3¼ by 3½. So I'm going to do that for all 3 colours first. So that's 3½. And I kind of, once you get going, you kind of get into a bit of a rhythm of doing it. Whoops. So that's, move that down so you can see. So I'm cutting these all down to 3½ first. And it doesn't matter what order you do any of this in. This is just the order that I found it easiest to do it. And these scrap pieces, keep those because we will be using those after. So 3½, 3½ and 3½. So it's not a difficult what's the word, project to make. There are a few bits, but once you get going, it's pretty simple really. And then these I'm going to cut to 3 3/4. So 3 3/4, and as usual, all the measurements for everything will be over on the blog post that goes with this project, 3 3/4, and there'll be a link for that in the description. That I'll go directly to the blog post for this. So I'll have a list of the measurements that you're going to need and a list of everything that I've used. So this is the Moroccan card stack. So if you haven't seen the new catalogue, the way Stampin' Up do it now is for every Designer Series paper there's a card pack that goes with it. So again, they're making it really easy for us to coordinate everything, because the colours that are in the card pack go with the Designer Series paper, so you haven't got to try and work out which colours you need to go with it. So it makes it so much easier. And if you want any other colours, you can just get that separately. But yeah, so this is the Moroccan paper and cardstock even, and these 3 colours you'll find on the Designer Series paper. So it's really simple for us to work it out. So last one here, and there we go. So that's all the cutting of the cardstock done. So all these scraps, keep them because you're going to need them, but just put them to the side for now, and bring in all of your pieces of card. So as I said, I'm making this for a Stampin' Up event that I am at right now as you're watching this video, the 5th of November. so I'm making quite a few of these, but obviously, you know, if you want to make just one, you can. You don't have to make, I mean, let me show you how many I've done already. That's my box full of swaps, and yeah, so you don't have to make that many. This is literally just for swaps. So and stay tuned, because I will be telling you about the event that I'm at right now. It's awesome. You're going to want to be there. Let me just show you this bit first. So I've got my Simply scoreboard, and we're going to be scoring each of these on the 3 3/4 side, which is the long side. You're going to be scoring at 1/4 of an inch, 1 inch, 2 inches, and 2 3/4. Okay, and then you're going to turn it 90 degrees and score at 1/4 of an inch, 1 inch, and 2 3/4. So that's the scoring. I'll show you again on another one. Well, I'll do a couple. So again, don't worry about the measurements, they will be on the blog post. So on the long side, 3 3/4, and I'm not left-handed, but because this one is just a small one, I'm doing it with my left hand, but it's not difficult to do it. So you just find the 1/4 inch and go down the groove, and you're there. So don't worry about, you know, doing it with the wrong hand. So 1/4 of an inch, 1 inch, 2 inches, and 2 3/4. And then you're going to turn it 90 degrees and score at 1/4 of an inch, whoops, 1 inch, and 2 3/4. Whoops, jumped over there. 2 3/4. Okay, so then you're going to do that for all of these. I'm not going to make you sit and watch me do that. I'm going to pause the video and do this, and it won't actually take very long. It'll just be a couple of minutes, so I'll be right back after I've done them. Okay, so I've done all the scoring for my boxes, and the next thing to do is fold on all of the score lines. So just fold and burnish with your bone folder. If you haven't got a bone folder, you really need to get one, because it makes making the score lines on things a lot sharper, and you get a better looking project at the end of it. So actually, I've just done this long around. What I was going to say to do is do the little score line first, because it is just a little bit easier to do those two fiddlier ones first, and then go on to do the others. So while I'm doing this, I will tell you about the event that I am at today. It is called Stampin' Up Local, and it's an event that Stampin' Up do every, let me think, it's every few months anyway. One of the events that Stampin' Up do, and it is an awesome day of crafting. We join up with demonstrators in other parts of the world. We get to see what's going on over there, and there's demonstrators from people at Stampin' Up head office. Oftentimes there's we get to see Shelley Gardner or her daughter, who are like the CEO and like they're both the CEOs anyway of Stampin' Up, which is fabulous, because they are crafters as well. They might, you know, run this company Stampin' Up, but they are crafters, which is really cool, because you know, we get to see them crafting, which is great. And there's live demonstrations as well, and we get to craft, we get make and takes, we get to play with new product from the new catalogues. So this time today we'll be using a and seeing and getting to have a look at the new spring summer catalogue. Can you believe it already? This year's flying by ridiculously fast. So we will be seeing those products and getting to have a play. And on top of that, there's freebies that we get. I mean, the last event I went to, I think I came home with 3 or 4, was it 3 stamp sets and ink and just loads and loads of stuff. I got a diary, like a planner thing, and there's prize patrols, which means you can win even more stuff. And it's a fantastic day. We get lunch and it's great. It's at the Telford International Centre, and honestly it is such a fun day. And if you want to go, all you have to do is join my team. That's it. And you know, you're probably thinking, oh, you know, it's easy to say, oh, just join my team. Don't be scared and thinking, you know, it's a huge, it's going to take up a huge chunk of your life, because it doesn't have to. Being a demonstrator, it can be whatever you want it to be. If you want to just, you know, keep your stash of crafty stuff topped up, that's great. If you want to do more and, you know, do like what I'm doing, I mean, I just do YouTube videos, and, you know, I'm happy with just doing that. You know, if you want to do other things, but again, I'm gonna, because there's just so much more for me to tell you. I'm going to have in the blog post that goes with this video, I'm going to have all the details of the event. And if you're not following me on Instagram, I'll leave a link there as well, because I'll be posting lots of pictures of what I can post, because some of the things we can't post straight away because we get so many sneak peeks at stuff. So what I can post, I will post. And as soon as I'm allowed to post all the new stuff that we're going to see, that'll be, you know, I'll come back on here and do another video for you all with all the awesome new stuff that we'll be playing with. And also I'll have more info on being a demonstrator and how it all works. And it'd be awesome if you would be part of my team of handicrafters, because it's lots of fun. I absolutely love crafting and, you know, sharing that with you all, and so it would be fabulous if you were part of my team of crafters. So yeah, think about it. So as you can see, I'm just folding, and what I usually do, I'll just sit in front of the telly and just do like this bit. I'll do the cutting, and then another time I'll sit and do all the folding, and then, you know, the other parts that are coming up. So this is how I mass produce things for swaps. Oh, another thing, I haven't told you about the swaps yet. When we go to these events, we make a whole load of, you know, one project. It can either be a little 3D thing like this or a card front, and we swap them with all the other people that are there. And so, you know, I've made like a load of these little boxes, so hopefully after the event I'll come back and I will do a video with all the swaps that I get, so you can see, you know, you get so much inspiration, so many ideas. It's fantastic. So I'm just going to finish off doing these and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm just going to go over a couple of things because my camera decided to have a weird little moment, so I'm not exactly sure what has been recorded. I'm just cutting the tabs of our box now, so let me just get a fresh one. So you've got the two skinny little score lines on the side there, so I'm going to start with those. You're going to cut this little one away here. and I will have a little diagram on the blog post so you can see exactly where you're cutting. And then these 2 sections here, you're just going to cut that away, and be sure to cut away the score line, if that makes sense. So I'll try and show you on this one. You can see where we folded and scored there. Let me zoom right in so you can see. Okay, so you can see the score lines where we've folded. So here, instead of, if I cut this side of the score line and this side, you can still see it there, and it looks a little bit messy. So if you cut that little bit away, then it just gives you a neater finish on your boxes, whatever type of box you're making, a bigger box or a smaller one. So we've cut that one, and that little one there. Now over this side, we're going to cut this whole bit away, this little strip, again cutting away the score line, and then this whole square we're going to cut that away, and again I'm cutting away that score line. So now we have that, and the next thing to do is just to cut the flaps, and I'm just cutting either side of that score line just to take out a little wedge. And what that does, that makes it just look neater, and it goes together easier if you cut that little section away like that. And then the same over on this side. Just going to cut that a little wedge out, mitering it in basically, and that one there. Whoops, try and do it a little bit neat. And just the same on that one there. So that's what you should have. Let me zoom back out. Okay, so that's what you should have now. And okay, so I've done all the cutting for all of the boxes, and next I'm going to show you how I put them together. Because this little strip here is so tiny, I decided to use the fine tip glue pen, but you could use the Tombow, or you could use fast fuse, but you would just have to put a craft sheet underneath, which I don't have, so I'm going with the fine tip glue pen. And just, you don't need a lot of this either, it is quite very strong glue, so you just put a bit on the tab there. Then I find the easiest way is to just close the box over like that, and then whoops, give that a good press so it stays down. And you can use your bone folder there if you want to. Just be careful if you are using a liquid glue that it's not sticking on the inside, which this one might be a little bit. Just pop your bone folder in there, and so that is your box. Now how I did it is I did all of this bit, so then I grabbed the next box and stuck this bit on each one. That's just, you know, how I did it. And then the next bit to do would be to close up the bottom of the box. So you just want to fold that flap down and those two in, and then just on this little bit here you're going to put some, I decided to use fast fuse, and then just close up the bottom of the box like that. And that is the box done. I'm not going to close it yet because we've got to put some goodies inside. And just to say, on this little flap here, this one where you've left the tab, just mitre that in just a little bit more, so it's narrower, just so it makes it easier when you do close the box, so it can just slip in easily like that. So I'm going to do all the gluing, and then I will be back to show you the next step.